Hey everyone, and welcome back. Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. So certain beneficiaries of Social Security are actually going to be receiving an increase as soon as December of this year. We're going to be going over who is going to be receiving this increase, why, and how much you can expect to receive. But before we go ahead and dive into the main content of today's video, if you wouldn't mind helping me out real quickly by just giving this video a like, that just helps out with the good old YouTube algorithm, and also consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already. Okay, so before we dive into this increase, I quickly wanted to go over a story in regards to SSI beneficiaries and a lot of people who receive SSI actually having their payments either reduced, suspended, or be getting kind of these threatening, very, very scary letters in the mail. Now, let me know in the comment section below if you've been receiving any of these letters, or perhaps if you know anyone of it. This was about a week ago. I'm just now covering, but I definitely do find it interesting. So, according to CNBC, COVID stimulus checks caused some Social Security SSI beneficiaries to lose benefits. Lawmakers are pressing for answers. So we actually do have a few different lawmakers who are sending letters in, like asking why exactly SSI beneficiaries are losing or potentially losing some of their benefits because of receiving these stimulus checks that were sent out. Now, these checks that were going to SSI beneficiaries were not supposed to impact their normal payments. They were not considered income, and they were told, like, hey, you're going to receive this, but this is not going to affect your benefits. But now some people receiving SSI are actually finding out that it is indeed affecting their benefits, where they're actually receiving like overpayment notices, or they're receiving like letters that they are no longer eligible to even receive their SSI benefits. Now, I can't even imagine being in these people's shoes, how scary, how terrible this must be. Certainly wouldn't wish this on anyone, but again, let me know in the comment section below if you or anyone else that you know have received these letters and you're currently in this situation. So once again, according to CNBC, when COVID-19 stimulus checks were deployed to millions of Americans, the government reassured Social Security and Supplemental Security income beneficiaries that they were eligible for payments, but some beneficiaries, who include retired and disabled Americans, may have gotten more than they bargained for, lost benefits. Some SSI recipients have seen their benefits suspended or have been assessed overpayments as a result of stimulus checks, which were worth up to $3,200 per individual or $6,400 for married couples over 3 rounds of payments. Social Security beneficiaries have also reportedly received overpayment notices. Those reports prompted 3 Democratic leaders, Senators Ron Wyden, Sherrod Brown, and Bob Casey, to send a letter to the Social Security Administration last week stating that they were, quote, deeply concerned. Now, of course, they go on to mention here that stimulus funds clashed with the strict SSI asset limits, which for individuals is $2,000 and for married couples is $3,000. For whatever reason, it's not double that amount, it's only $3,000. And this is something that has not been updated for quite some time. So they go on to say that the Social Security Administration announced in 2021 that the stimulus checks would not count towards eligibility and payments of SSI benefits, regardless of how long beneficiaries held on to the money. So obviously they're saying one thing back in 2021, but yet in 2023, a lot of people receiving SSI benefits are now receiving those letters in the mail saying that they were actually overpaid, and perhaps they are no longer eligible to receive these benefits because of those payments back in 2020, 2021. Now, they go on to say that as far as advices go, as far as appealing, if you were to receive these letters, that if you receive an overpayment notice from the Social Security Administration and believe that it was due to a COVID stimulus payment or another error that was made by the Social Security Administration, you should absolutely file an appeal. Now, once again, the asset limit in general, $2,000 for individuals and $3,000 for couples, this is something that has not been updated since 1989. That's well over 30 years ago. They have not updated. That's around 35 years ago that they have not updated the amount that you can hold, like in your bank account or just other assets. And $2,000 for single individuals back in 1989, still that wasn't that much, but fast forward 35 years of inflation and you're going to keep the same asset limit? I mean, that's got to be a total joke. So that is something they absolutely need to change, and they actually do have a bill right now according to CNBC, called the SSI Savings Penalty Elimination Act. And if that were to pass, it would raise the asset limits from $2,000 for individuals up to $10,000. And then for married couples, it would lift that up from $3,000 up to $20,000. Now, thankfully, this is a bipartisan proposal, which means that pretty much it would have a decent chance of passing at least, just because we have some Democrats on board with the bill, as well as Republicans. So if they were to try to pass this bill, I wouldn't think they would have any troubles to do it. And it also wouldn't cost us anything more to pass this bill either. It wouldn't cost us to have to print more money. So I really think that everyone should be on board with it. I mean, $2,000 for individuals from 1989 all the way to today. Inflation has obviously eroded away with a lot of that money, so it's definitely something that needs to be updated. Whether or not they actually do something productive in Washington, though, we'll just have to wait and see. But moving on to the main story of today's video, of course, in the title it says that there's going to be some people who are going to be receiving an increase in December, and that increase is thanks in part to the cost of living adjustment. Now, the COLA is actually going to be set for 2024 for most Social Security beneficiaries. However, there's one group of people receiving Social Security benefits. Those are people receiving SSI benefits who are actually going to be receiving their increase just a little bit sooner. They're going to be, in fact, receiving their increase in December. So if we look at the payment schedule up on the screen here, this payment schedule is for 2023. So on December 1st, SSI beneficiaries are going to be receiving their first payment of the month. That's going to be whatever you've been receiving all year long. If you receive SSI, you're going to receive that exact same payment on December 1st. But then fast forward to December 29th. That's going to be the final Friday of the month. You're actually going to be receiving yet another payment. So you're going to be receiving two payments in the month of December. Your first payment is going to be coming on December 1st, and your second payment is going to be coming on December 29th. Now, your December 29th payment is actually going to be the first payment in which you receive that cost of living adjustment. That's because your December 29th payment is actually technically your January 2024 payment. You're not going to be receiving a payment on January 1st simply because, it's going to be a holiday. And anytime the first of a month falls on a holiday or a weekend, you're going to be receiving that payment the prior business day. So that's why you're actually going to be receiving your 2024 January payment on December 29th. So you're actually going to be receiving your cost of living adjustment, where you're going to be receiving a payment a little bit higher. And for 2024, the maximum payment for individuals is going to be $943, as you can see up on the screen. And then for couples, the max payment for SSI is going to be $1,415, up from $1,371 this year in 2023. So those payments are a little bit higher. They're 3.2% higher. And then for everyone else, they're going to be a little bit higher as well. So if we just look at all retired workers, for example, their payment on average is going to be boosted up to $1,907 per month, up from $1,848, which was in 2023. So that's all we have for today's video. I certainly hope that you enjoyed and found value out of it. If you did, again, I would greatly appreciate if you could give this video a like. Consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already, and I will see you in the next video.